You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to secure your home, protect your family, and embrace your role as a protector parent. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help families become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family. Today, I'm talking about action movies. Fights, shootouts, car chases, and jumping off of exploding buildings. Are you and I really capable of doing all those things? Our brains might think so, and that might get us hurt. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. As parents, we don't have time to be sick. Boost your immune system with vitamin D from Health to the Rescue. Health to the Rescue offers the best supplements for your family while giving the proceeds to fight human trafficking. Use discount code SECURE to receive 15% off of your order. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Shop now at healthtotherescue.com. Also, I want to invite you to check out my free video presentation, 5 Family Rules for Phones. No matter the age of your kids, these 5 simple rules can go a long way to keeping your kids safe online. Doesn't necessarily pertain only to a smartphone. It could be an iPad, it can be a laptop, whatever. Many parents think that when they hand their kids a data device, that they can see out into the world, which is absolutely true. But it also means that the world can look back and interact with them. This is just one of the concepts that I help you navigate in this presentation. To see the video, just tap on the link in today's show notes. I'm not saying this to be rude or to make you upset, but you're not an action hero. In a day, you most likely won't jump off of an exploding building, punch a Nazi, or pilot a Harrier fighter jet. Don't worry, I'm not going to either. As people, especially Americans, we think that we all have this innate ability to become a movie-level hero in the blink of an eye. And sadly, Hollywood has been leading us on. It's kind of what they do. We're not action heroes, waiting on our own origin story, but that doesn't mean that we can't do heroic things. So let's take a look at this from a few perspectives. First, we need to look at how outlandish action movie heroes really are. One of my favorite action movies is Die Hard. I think we can all see that the main character, John McClane, is forced into a defensive situation when his estranged wife's office Christmas party is taken over by German terrorists. Honestly, when I say the plot to the movie out loud, it is kind of laughable, but that's what makes the movie great. Now, McClane is a cop who has probably had his fair share of police training and on-the-job stress inoculation. So McClane isn't the average Joe off the street like you and me, but he has to do a lot of things that he has never done before. So here are some things that Mr. McClane has to yippee-ki-yay his way through in just one night. Multiple lethal gunfights, lethal hand-to-hand combat against bigger opponents, setting C4 charges on a roof, blowing up said roof while jumping from it, outsmarting an entire German terrorist cell, and doing all of this barefoot. While this movie is a Christmas classic, it's not a good representation of what you and I may be called to do in a day to protect our families. See, in order to make a blockbuster movie, writers, directors, they all have to outdo the last round of films. That's why we end up with very entertaining movies like the Die Hard franchise. The reality is, one person can't do all of that and survive, physically or mentally. So as my friend and guest on the show, Gonzalo of Combat MF, says, if you want to learn how to be a protector, stop watching Hollywood movies and go take a good class. The movies won't prepare us for real violence. So let's take a look at this from another angle. Many people tend to be overconfident in their own abilities. And as I say this, I know you know what I'm saying, and I know you probably thought of a friend who was overconfident in them doing something and they ended up utterly failing. So you see this in real life. Many of us thought that, we could just outrun that red light and we lost. Or that we took on a too complicated of a meal and we ended up burning it. I will admit I have done both. It's good that our brains are encouraging us to try new things, but some real-world discretion is needed. Overconfidence can get us hurt. The overconfidence bias is a cognitive bias that makes people like us mistakenly inflate our own skills and knowledge. Some of you are saying, hey, Andy, have you ever felt this way doing the show? Yeah, I probably have, but I try to keep myself humble. You've probably done this in class as a kid when you confidently said the wrong answer out loud to your teacher. It happens, but I strongly encourage you to remember your overconfidence bias when it comes to the safety of your family. The biggest statement of overconfidence that I see in the self-defense realm are the idiots who say, if anybody breaks into my home, I'll just shoot them. If you know anybody who says that, stop listening to them right now. The person who says that does not have the training like SWAT or Special Forces or a capable citizen. They don't know what they're doing. They're speaking out of fear and bravado. So you're telling me, in the dead of the night with your adrenaline spiking, you can rip off that CPAP machine, gather up your family, secure your firearm, take up a shooting position, identify your target and what's beyond it, tell them to leave, and make accurate shots, all while in the dark, only in your underpants. And you don't have any training? Does that sound like overconfidence? Yes. Yes, it does. This is why you take precautions and make your home a hard target so that you don't have to do any of what I just mentioned. Plus, home defense doesn't always have to involve gunshots. Just saying. So you may be thinking, so Andy, am I really not my own first responder? Am I supposed to just wait for the police to show up? Am I really just a victim in waiting? Hold up, bro. Chill. You are your family's first line of defense as a protector parent. What I'm cautioning you to remember is that you may not be as good as you daydream that you are. You may not be John McClane. Sorry to tell you. I want you to have confidence in your real abilities. And that means getting uncomfortable and getting training in first aid, self-defense, and situational awareness. Because when it really matters, I want you to do heroic things like driving away from an enraged driver, talking your way out of a fight, and securing your home so that criminals can't get in. That's what real heroes do. They do those little things. They choose safety every day in small ways to mitigate the risk so that there's no conflict and there's no threat to their loved ones. This is the core of being a protector parent. You can take heroic actions to protect and save lives. You're just not an action movie hero. And that's okay. Well, that's all that I have for the podcast today. I appreciate you being here. The Secure Dad podcast is supported by Health to the Rescue. Remember that when you buy from them, $5 from every vitamin supplement bottle goes to fight human trafficking with groups like Operation Underground Railroad, the Polaris Project, and the Child Rescue Coalition. Use discount code SECURE at checkout to receive 15% off of your order. Fight for your health. Support the fight against trafficking. Shop now at healthtotherescue.com. Also in the recording of this episode, there was an epic outtake that I absolutely had to include in this episode, so keep listening to have a good laugh at my expense. I'm Andy Murphy, and until next time, take care and yippee-ki-yay. So you're telling me that in the dead of the night, with your adrenaline spiking, you can rip that CPAP machine off, gather up your family, secure your firearm, take up a shooting position, identify your target and what's beyond it, tell them to leave, make accurate shots. Oh boy. Oh boy.